All right, good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to this regular meeting, Tuesday, March the 15th. This morning we have our Matthew Brown is going to come up and give us our invocation with our, escaped my mind now. I thought I was going to start off good, Matthew. I forgot what you do. Tell us what you do and then give us a prayer.
Sure. Matthew Brown, the Planting Director.
That's right. That's what he is. And he's going to give us an invocation, and followed by the invocation, Pledge Allegiance by Commissioner Gruber.
All right, let's pray. Father, we thank you for this day that you've given to us, Lord. We thank you that as we face the challenges and hurdles and opportunities here in Baldwin County, where we know we have those because it's such a great place to live, a great place to grow and have a family and to have a business. And so we know that the hurdles that we have come from these great opportunities. So we thank you for that. I pray that you'd be with our commissioners today, our team of staff here, and the citizens of Baldwin County as we all grapple with the different issues that we have. I do pray, Lord, as we reflect on your work that you did for us on the cross, that you'd let the mind of Christ be in us today, Lord, that as you thought it not robbery to be made equal with man, Lord, that we would have that same humble servant's heart, Lord, as we serve the people here in Baldwin County. And we pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Please join me for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Thank you, Matthew, for that prayer. I didn't forget you, okay? I didn't forget you. All right, today we have before us the adoption of the March 2nd, 2022 regular meeting minutes. I get a motion?
Chairman, I make a motion that we adopt the regular meeting of March 2nd, 2022.
Second.
And we got a second.
Okay.
One of us.
Got a motion by Commissioner Gruber, second by Commissioner Underwood to adopt the March 2nd, 22 regular meeting minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, the next up is our consent agenda. There's a few notations before we consent. We will adopt this consent agenda with the exception of BA7. We're going to note the staff recommendation change there as a replacement item. And then we will, as we adopt this consent agenda as well on item BA8, that item will be contingent upon receiving the liability insurance for the parking lot for the Arts and Crafts Festival. I want to look over those real quick before we adopt this consent agenda, and I will tell you, Commissioners, after we adopt the consent agenda, there's going to be a few people that come up and speak on behalf of item BA5. Can I get a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion we approve our consent agenda.
And I'll second that.
All right. We've got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda with the noted changes on item BA7 and the proof contingency on BA8. And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, and I will invite up to the podium anybody wishing to speak on item BA5 about the Barnwell Community Organization. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank y'all for this opportunity to speak in front of you guys today. We're just happy to be here to represent the Barnwell Community Organization. This is an organization that we developed, some community members last year, to kind of grow and develop our community and put some time, money, and effort into our Barnwell Community Center. And I'll let Melissa Nolte tell you guys a little bit about that. My name is Veronica Bishop. I've met a couple of you guys before, but Melissa can give you guys the details on our restoration project.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First, we wanted to come up and just say thank you. We appreciate the support and the efforts both on y'all's side and then at the state legislative side. They've been extremely supportive of this, but what we're planning to do with these funds is actually restore a building that's over 100 years old in our community. It's a wooden 2-room schoolhouse. Been there since 1918, built by the citizens of the community. And so we're super excited to get started with this. This is a huge asset for our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming today. Thank you.
Yes.
right. Next up, we have our presentations. Deidre?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm once again humbled to be able to present our Employee of the Quarter presentation. These employees that you will meet today are those that have gone above and beyond the call of duty, and we will single them out today, but we have so many across the county that every day goes above and beyond, but these three were nominated for this award today. We want to publicly recognize and acknowledge their accomplishments and contributions to Baldwin County as a whole. This program offers citizens and also offers our employees' peers to recognize their specific contributions that they have made to streamline processes, to help in any kind of organizational barriers, break those down, and so today we are happy to recognize them. The first employee we have today is with the legislative delegation, and her name is Ms. Jennifer Hutto, and Mr. Cliff McCollum is here to present her certificate.
Good morning, Commissioners. Apologies for being a little waterlogged this morning, but new car, I didn't have my umbrella in there. I am honored today to represent our legislative delegation here. Of course, they'd love to be here, but they've got to head up to Montgomery for session and do all the work they do up there. But it's our job to keep the home fire burning in the legislative office, and I can think of nobody who does that better than this lady here behind me, Miss Jennifer Hutto. She is a wealth of information and knowledge. Her years of experience are invaluable when it comes to knowing what's going on. She has forgotten more about what we do than I could ever hope to learn. And I know that without her, we would be lost on a number of issues. Just advertising bills alone. I know the newspaper end of it from my being a recovering journalist, but I'll tell you, she keeps everything on track, keeps the trains running. If we get local bills passed, it is largely on the back of Miss Jennifer Hutto. But specifically why she's being honored here today, we have found ourselves in a global pandemic these last few years, and Ms. Hutto took it upon herself during that time. We started to see a huge uptick in unemployment claims. She has a great contact at our labor department that she's been able to process not just 10 or 20 or 50. Over the course of the pandemic, would I be lying if I said more than 200? More than 300. See, she was going to be modest there for a second. She doesn't like attention. But one in particular really stuck out. There was a lady that called into our office that had gotten notice from the Department of Labor. She was going to owe over $10,000 back to the Department of Labor, and apparently unemployment she shouldn't have gotten. Now, this lady works minimum wage, older lady, and she wasn't aware of being overpaid on anything. She thought the checks were right, and Jennifer listened to her story. And rather than just, well, we did what we can do, the Lord put this lady on Jennifer's heart. And Jennifer followed that thing through until one day she got a phone call at the office from our state Secretary of Labor, Mr. Fitzgerald Washington, telling her that he was personally on this case now, and they were going to call this lady and inform her that it had been taken care of, that it was an error. That's the kind of dedication and love of this job that I've completely come to expect from Jennifer. I'm proud to say that I get to work with her, and I know that all 7 of the boys in the Baldwin legislative delegation would say the exact same thing. So a well-deserved honor for somebody who day in and day out works so hard for the people of Baldwin County, and even them few folks from New York there at the beginning of the pandemic that tried to call. Apparently, word got out Jennifer was good at helping with unemployment. We had people from New York State calling down here to Baldwin County trying to get Jennifer to help them, and bless her, she tried. So, Jennifer, thank you for what you do for us. It is truly a pleasure to get to work with you, and I look forward to many, many more adventures that I know we're going to have in the coming years. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
No speech. And again, just purely humble. Also, Barnwell folks, thank y'all for what y'all doing. As a resident of the People's Historic Republic of Barnwell, or whatever we call ourselves now, appreciate what y'all are doing for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Mr. Junius Long to present, and Chris Bullman and Derek Crocker to present Mr. Chad Teetsort his certificate.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for letting us attend this meeting. This morning, we have with us Chad Teetsort. Chad has been with us a couple of years now. He's a plumber for the whole county. We did not have a plumber. So he works under the supervision of Derek Crocker and Chris Bullman. He's all over the county. He's not south end or north end, he's everywhere. Before Chad come to work with us, we was having to pay another contractor over $50,000 a year just to keep the old courthouse sewage system. We have such a problem with it pumped out, keep the bathrooms from backing up. When Chad come on, we have no longer needed those people whatsoever. So he has saved the county that much in just one building. And I can't say enough about him. When I was in business, I used to go buy shovels for people to dig ditches, and about 2 or 3 hours later, they'd bring it back with a handle broke out of it, so they didn't have to dig anymore. Well, Chad brings the shovels back with the blade wires on them. The handle's still intact, so he loves to dig with the shovel, and he don't back up from work. So, Chad, this morning I want to present this to you, the info of the quarter, and we appreciate all you do, Chad.
Yeah, I concur with Junius. We all know we're building 2 sales centers, one in Loxley and one in Little River, and he is single-handedly, with help from every now and then, plumbing them by himself. And y'all know the other night we had the restroom delivered at Live Oak. I called Chad, did the plumbing on that slab, so I called Chad up. I said, Chad, can you be here when they do it? He said, yeah, I don't mind. I'll be there. It's supposed to be there at 2 o'clock. It showed up at 4:30. We left at 7 o'clock. He lives on the south end. He stayed until that building was sit on that ground and left. So wow. He's very deserving of this award.
Absolutely. Sir, thank you, Chad. Thank y'all, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chad.
And last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Michael Dorman from our Animal Control, and Gina Jones is here to present him with his certificate.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank y'all for allowing us to come and speak on Mike's behalf today. Mike's been with us not quite 2 years yet. He has made an impact with the citizens, animal control. He's always helping at the shelter no matter what they ask him to do. He does do it. He does things that other people wouldn't want to do, which we thank Mike for that. We had a nice letter from a citizen and how nice he was whenever he got on the scene to pick up the animal. She's an animal lover. Most people in Baldwin County love animals, and if you get out there and you're nice with the animal, they'd rather you be nice to the animal than them a lot of times, whenever you're picking up the baby to put it on the truck. Mike has helped work a couple of cruelty cases. He's done really, really well in those in the situation that we have to go in with some of these animals. It's not a job that a lot of people can do. A lot of people, nurses and doctors, we can't do that, but we can do animal stuff. And a lot of people say, how do y'all do animal stuff? It's either it's born in you or, you're going to leave us, which Mike has not left us yet, so we're proud to keep him on board. We also had a nice letter from Deputy Boone where Mike had went out on a couple of calls with them and helped them out with a deceased body that had animals. And Mike is really good whenever he gets out there and does his job. And we appreciate Mike for coming and joining with the crew at the county animal shelter. Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
And just to wrap everything up, we appreciate those that went out and nominated these employees for Employee of the Quarter, and for everyone coming out today to support them. And I do encourage any citizen that has a great experience with any of our employees to go to our website under the Personnel Departments, where our Employee of the Quarter program is located, where they can nominate a deserving employee, and also encourage their peers as well to nominate. So, thank you.
Commissioners, would y'all like to say anything? Start.
Yeah, I just thank y'all so very much for what y'all do. Y'all, sometimes it's a thankless job, that people just think, well, that's nothing to that, but plumbing, that's the job nobody wants to do. That's why, and Ms. Hutto, she's been at this quite a long time, and Mike, some of the stuff that you've had to go through with the animal control, all of y'all, is remarkable, and I want to thank each and every one of y'all for what y'all do, because y'all make the difference in Baldwin County. So thank you very much.
Well, is Jennifer still here?
No, she does.
Okay. Well, I just want to say that I'll start with Chad. Thank you so much for being on board and being our plumber. I have a passion for that sales center up there in Loxley, and I just cannot wait to go see it. But I know when I first came to the county, I think Roto-Rooter was in and out of Central Annex like about every time I went, and it smelled funny, and we'll use funny, okay? But, it's been so remarkable, and I guess you're the one responsible for that. So to be nominated by your peers, that speaks highly of you, and I just want to say thank you so much for willing to do that job. Not that there's rewards in doing plumbing, I guess. We all got to have it. When it don't work, it's the worst thing in our house, right? Just about, we can open the windows when the air conditioner don't work. We can do a lot of things, but when the plumbing don't work, we're in trouble. So thank you. And then Mike back there, I'm going to embarrass him just a little bit. Not too bad, I promise, okay? If you don't embarrass me, I won't embarrass you. I've known Mike since we were kids, children, I guess you would say. He's lived not too far from Summerdale, in between Summerdale and Foley, and he used to come up to the Summerdale ballpark and play ball, and his dad was a umpire, referee. I think Bernie Dorman probably refereed me more and more basketball games than anybody I know. But all that being aside, I've known Mike a long time, and I know what kind of a good person Mike is. And to be an animal control officer in a fast-growing county like this, and to be nominated by your peers, that speaks volumes for you, Mike. It really, really does. And there was a lot of emails that came in, and some specifically came to me, I think because they found out I knew you, and maybe everybody got them, but I know that there are veterinarians that appreciate you, your peers. For your peers to appreciate you means a lot. I mean, that is something that, and I know that recently there's been some situations going out there that people can't talk about because they might be court cases, but just to think that you might have had to been involved in some of this stuff that, we might know about is amazing. And for you to still want to love your job and do your job after seeing some of the things that you probably have to do just speaks volumes. And from Deputy Boone, from Dr. Dixon, from some of your peers that work at the animal shelter, thank you for what you do every day. I appreciate you more than you can imagine. And it's great seeing you again after all these years.
Chad, I want to tell you a quick story. I was a business manager at Tech College. My president was the city council chairman. My maintenance supervisor was a deacon and preacher in the Baptist church. So we get a phone call. This was years ago, and you young people don't remember what phone booths are, but we had a phone booth near the road. And I got a call, and somebody said, "Joe, your phone booth's leaking." And I thought, what? First of all, it's not my phone booth. Secondly, it doesn't have water. But anyway, I ride down there, and sure enough, there's water running out the road in under the phone booth. That college campus is built up. We had 3 lift stations. Guess what? One of the lift stations had failed. Well, you got my president, you got my preacher, maintenance guy, and you got this kid business manager. Guess who got to crawl down in there and unclog the impeller for that lift station? Threw away my clothes, my tennis shoes, and couldn't do my hand like this for about 2 weeks. But I tell you what it did. It made me fully appreciate that some things ought to go downhill. And so we quickly, over the next couple of years, rearranged it for those lift stations to become manholes, and we sent things downhill. All of us have had problems where we needed someone like Chad. And Chad, I find it interesting, of all of you, none of you took to the microphone to tell us how to do it. What you do is you do it. And that's what we all need to be so appreciative of. When something happens, Jonas said that you wear out the handle before you wear out anything else. It's important for us to recognize our workers. Mike, you deal with the critters, and if the critters were the only thing you dealt with, it'd probably be a pretty easy job. But sometimes it's the people with the critters or around the critters or have got ideas about the critters that you have to kind of bite your tongue, or you're a big guy, so you got a chance to look down at them. I was always little, having to look up at them, made it tough. But I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I've been blessed to work in all kind of careers and all kind of team settings. I'll put this Baldwin County crew top to bottom against any organization I've ever been exposed to, because you get the job done. You don't toot your horn, you don't do things just to get attention, you do your job. And that's what it's about, and that's why Paradise is where everybody's trying to come. And to all of you recognized today, and those that need and will be recognized, that we're part of a great team, and everybody just pull your share, and everybody will get recognition in due time. But thank you again, and particularly, Chad, I think about that lift station. So it keeps me humble about what's going on. Thank you very much.
As y'all know, getting to after those 3 talk, getting to me, I mean, it's kind of unfair. So to the 3 that was mentioned here today, of course, Jennifer has left. We really appreciate her help. Chad, I mean, it's evident that you do a good job, or you wouldn't be getting this award today. I mean, it's amazing. You have great supervisory staff that you work for. Those 3 guys sitting right beside you there are some of the best that they come by. So learn under them, train under them. You'll learn a lot more than plumbing, I'm sure. So, but I thank God for you, because Junior has told us for a long time we've needed a plumber. So I don't know how many times you've been under that courthouse there in Bay Minette, but there's a whole nother world under that place. But we don't want to go to discover. So we appreciate you doing that, and you're well deserving of this award based on everything that I've heard from you. And Mike, congratulations for your award as well. I'm one of those people that was kind of like that. Either you can do animals or you can't do animals. I can't do anything with animals besides keep them as my pet. I can't go to the shelter. I can't go to North Baldwin Animal Shelter. I can't go to our shelter just because I can't see that. I worked with the coroner's office for almost 3 months dealing with all the caseloads that they deal with, and I can do that all day long. But But I cannot deal with the cruelty of animals. I can't deal with the mistreating of animals. I can't deal with people who drop animals off, because if I found out who did it, then I become another person. So, and I commend y'all for the job you do. Not only you, Mike, but the whole staff at our animal shelter, especially the control officers. Y'all deal with a lot of stuff, so I'm well deserving of these awards. And I think we're going to give y'all one more round of applause. All right? Y'all want to, Shirley, do you want us to get a picture with the ones that are still in here?
Yeah, let's get everybody right up here.
Chad, Mike, come on up. I think the middle is about right there. Yeah.
We're right in here.
People gonna stand by me.
You just get each other's work.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good deal.
I'll make a room for the lady to do. Come on, I don't mind.
Yes, you do.
She's left.
All right, Jennifer, she left the building.
Okay, get back again.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay.
Very good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all. Oh, yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all take care.
All right.
Thank you.
And that's an example. They're ready to go get to work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They got work to do.
Hi, guys.
That's what it's about. They're ready to go get to work.
In the Wayne.
Yes, that's right. In the rain is right.
My niece says Wayne in the Wayne.
All right, next up, we're in our public hearings section, and I'll describe the first case here. It's going to be case number LV 22001. This is an alcohol license application for Yogur LLC, doing business as the Country C Store. Public hearing is open for this case. Is there anybody that has signed up, Ron, that wishes to speak for or against this case?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
All right. And is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak on behalf of this case or against this case? Okay, hearing none. Close the public hearing. Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve case number LV 22001, alcohol license application for Yorgi, doing business as Country C Store.
I'll second that.
Got a motion by Commissioner Gruber, second by Commissioner Davis to approve case number LV 22001. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next up, Commissioners, we have case number LV 22002, alcohol license application for Yogur LLC, doing business as the Country Liquor. I'll open up this public hearing on case number LV 22002. Ron, do we have anybody signed up to speak for or against this?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Is there anybody in the audience wishing to speak for or against this? Public hearing is now closed. Commissioners?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, with the staff's recommendation and no contrary comments, I recommend that we approve case LV 22002, an alcohol license application for doing business as Country Liquor.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Davis, second by Commissioner Gruber to approve case number LV 22002. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next up, our public hearing consists of case number LV 22003. This is another alcohol license application for a store doing business as AAA. Open the public hearing. Is there anybody, Ron, signed up?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Anybody in the audience wish to speak for or against this? Hearing none. Public hearing is closed. Commission?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve case number LV 22003, alcohol license application for AAA.
I'll second that.
Got a motion by Commissioner Gruber, second by Commissioner Davis to approve this alcohol license. Case number LV 22003. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next up, we have case number LV 22004. This is an alcohol license applications for DRK Developers, LLC, doing business as Dixie Oaks Food Mart. Public hearing is now open on case LV 22004. Ron?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Good. Anybody in the audience wish to speak for or against this matter? All right. Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion we approve case number LV 22004, alcohol license application for DRK Development, doing business as Dixie Oaks Food Mart.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that, subject to the proof of publication that's forthcoming.
We received.
We did receive it? Okay, thank you. Then I will second it straight away.
All right, we've got a motion by Commissioner Gruber, a second by Commissioner Davis to approve this license. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, next up, we have a planning and zoning case number Z21000012, the Pierce property rezoning. Matthew?
All right, Commissioners, this is one of our rezoning cases. As we discussed last time, this is not a particularly controversial case, but a reminder that a rezoning case is more of a judicial type balancing test, a little bit more subjective as compared to subdivisions, which is a little bit more of an engineering checklist type review. So this is a rezoning case. This particular property, first of all, Selena Boykin was senior staff on this, and I just take the credit for her work now as I present it, so I just want to give a shout out to her. This is in Planning District 15. It's zoned RSF2 currently, which is single family residential 2. The location is on the north of County Road 64 and east of Pollard Road. The current use is residential. It's 4.69 acres, and you see the physical address there, and the applicant and the owner, both of these gentlemen are here today, Mr. Fuller and Mr. Pierce, and though they haven't signed up to speak, they're available if you do have any questions. The proposed zoning is B2 Neighborhood Business District. There's no proposed use at this time. They're just trying to achieve the best and highest use for this property based on the development pattern in the area. We're going to look at this a little bit more in a later slide, but you can see some of the surrounding zoning from this particular map. This is also has a lot of corporate limits of the city of Daphne in the area. You can see it's on 3 sides of this property. It currently has B2, and then on the east side it has residential multifamily 6, which is a high density residential district. You can see some of the images from the surrounding properties, and then some of the different zoning requirements in R2, and then what's allowed in B2. The next several slides are in your staff report. I'm going to move through these quickly. They're the different factors that we go through when we consider a rezoning, and I'm going to finish on number 7 because it includes some images. This particular area, because it's such a, we'll say, a checkerboard of the city of Daphne and county zoning, sometimes it's a little bit harder to detect those development patterns. But as you look at the rezoning that have taken place recently, and we all understand the development that's taking place along County Road 64, that naturally properties along 64, because of the traffic increases and just the changes that have occurred on that corridor, their most appropriate use is no longer residential. It's a business type use, and we feel like B2 is a reasonable use for this property. You can see there's a lot of B2 and even B3 and more intense uses in the general vicinity. Again, some of the additional factors. They will be required to install certain types of buffers depending on the type of business that goes in. We now also have our commission site plan approval process. So almost certainly any type of business that goes here will trigger some type of commission site plan approval, which will help ensure that there's a nice or an appropriate transition or buffer between that residential use to the east. I do want to note here in agency comments, the city of Daphne would have preferred a B1 zoning at this location rather than a B2, and we note their position here and we understand their position. I think when it comes down to, again, this is a subjective test, but when you look at literally the uses along 64, you really don't see any B1s. You see B2s and B3s, and that it would almost be unfair to punish this particular applicant and not allow him to have that same B2 given the way that that corridor is developing. So this is the rezoning change that's requested. Again, that seems like a substantial leap, but on 3 sides it's currently surrounded by that designation. So staff summary and comments. The subject property is RSF2 and it's proposed to go to B2 and to make it more marketable. The Planning Commission recommended approval unanimously and staff recommends approval. That's all I have.
Okay. Open this public hearing on case number Z21/0000012, Pierce property rezoning. Is there anyone signed up, Matthew, to speak for or against this project?
No, sir.
Okay. Just because you're not signed up doesn't mean you can't speak. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak for or against this project? All right. Don't have any questions for Matthew?
I have a question. I guess I can ask you in the public hearing. Usually I'll wait till after that, but give me a little detail about this new site plan approval process, because I really like site plan approvals. Is that one that the Planning Commission approves?
That's right. It goes through the Planning Commission. There are 6 factors that will trigger it. So even if it's a permitted use, if it hits one of those 6 factors, it has to come to the Planning Commission to just make sure we're checking things like lighting. You know, is this
lighting and parking and signage and what are the 6 factors? Can you just quickly? I mean, don't go into massive detail for me, please.
I'm going to try and say them all off the top of my head, but the 2 that really trigger things, if you're within 200 feet of a residential use, that triggers and then if you're over 5,000 square feet in square footage, and then there's also a percentage of impervious area and things like that. And I'm not going to go quote them.
No, I understand.
But those are the 2 big ones.
Okay, I'm so thankful for that because we never had that, I don't believe.
That's right. It's new. It came in under the September amendment to the zoning ordinance, and I can tell you, it puts a lot more onus on staff to make sure we're doing a very thorough review, because now this goes into the public eye and the Planning Commission's eye when we review a commercial site plan like this.
Awesome.
And it's
okay.
positive.
All right, good.
All right.
Thank you.
So, we'll close this public hearing, Commissioners.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve case number Z21-0000012, Pierce property rezone.
No, second the motion.
We got a motion by Commissioner Underwood, a second by Commissioner Gruber to approve this case. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Matthew.
I got one quick question. On that, in that area, the area that we have left over, it's kind of checkerboard, ain't it?
That's correct.
And we're just now, these are holes are out there, and these people are, because I was looking at the map here, and it's surrounded just about by Daphne.
That's correct.
And there's several of them that are like it, just little. That makes it tough, Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gruber, we need to pay the bills.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we pay the bills totaling $1,182.98, with the exception of those vendors commissioners request to be pulled, which are listed in the Baldwin County accounts payable. And I don't think there's any. So of this amount, $8,356,174.46 is payable to the Baldwin County Board of Education, and $619,866.60 is paid to the Gulf Shores Board of Education for its portion of the county sales and use tax.
All right, Commissioners, you've heard Commissioner Gruber's motion.
Second it.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Gruber to pay the bills. We got second by Commissioner Underwood. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Next up is item EA2, notification of interim payments approved by clerk treasurer is allowed under policy 8.1. Next up is our other staff recommendations. The first item is item FA1. This is the advance ordering of vehicles for the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office. There has been a replacement item added to this, and the staff recommendation authorizes the purchasing director to begin the process for advance purchase of vehicles for the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office. Commissioners, I'll need a vote on that.
I'll make a motion we approve item FA1.
And second the motion.
We got a motion by Commissioner Underwood and second by Commissioner Gruber to approve item FA1 with the noted change. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
FA2 is the Baldwin County Animal Advisory Board. There's no action necessary, and future meetings will come to talk about that, as well as item FA3. It says there'll be an agenda item in a future meeting. No action is necessary on that item. With our planning and zoning, we do have a couple of things that we're going to need to vote on under other staff, and these are the Planning District 8 Advisory Committee appointments. As you recall yesterday, in our folder that we have, there is a starred list of names. If commissioners, you do not mind, if you will pull those starred names up, I will need a motion for those. Each district will start with item FR1. When you make a motion to vote, please say those starred names.
Where did it go? I thought it was in the comp.
It's in the addendum folder.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it. I'll make the motion. I can't make the motion.
Can we make a motion that we approve the ones that are starred, but we need to read them out?
We need to read them out.
Mr. Chairman, you could just say you entertain a motion with the names, and then someone could just say so moved.
Okay, I'm finding them. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, but specifically for our staff, we need to name the names.
All right, I got them. Okay. This is District 8.
Right.
Okay, so I will make a motion. Hang on a second. Oh, this thing's being a little slow on me. I'll make a motion that we approve the District 8 Advisory Committee. Maybe it helps if I put my glasses on. And the 5 people that have asked, that the Planning Department has recommended that have put in applications is Mrs. Clarice Hall Black, Mr. Mike McKenzie, Mrs. Vicki Graham, Mr. Gary Wolf, and Mr. Owen Edwards.
Okay, Commissioners, you heard the motion.
I'll second the motion.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Underwood and a second by Commissioner Davis to take staff recommendations on Planning District 8 Advisory Committee appointments and appoint the following individuals: Ms. Clarice Hall Black, Mr. Mike McKenzie, Ms. Vicki Graham, Mr. Gary Wolf, and Mr. Owen Edwards. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Okay.
Next up, we got FR2, Planning District 37.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we appoint the Planning District 37 Advisory Committee with these following 5 names: Mr. William, but don't say this wrong, Ehringman, Mr. Leslie Stayskull, Mrs. Rebecca Teal, Mrs. Gina Todia, Mrs. Elizabeth Wilson.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Underwood and a second by Commissioner Gruber to approve item number FR2, Planning District 37 Advisory Committee, names listed as staff recommendations: Mr. William Ingerman, Mr. Leslie Stayskull, Ms. Rebecca Teal, and Ms. Gina Todia, and Ms. Elizabeth Wilson. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, Ron, do you want to introduce our addenda, item HA1?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Item HA1, Commissioners, is the purchase of election equipment for the Baldwin County Commission. As you are aware, the Secretary of State has a grant that allows county commissions to purchase election equipment, and Baldwin County is participating in that grant. As a matter of fact, we've already received the money, and this is to authorize the use of Help America Vote Act funds to purchase 8 electronic poll pads in the amount of $12,080 and 1 election reporting management computer in the amount of $3,694.
Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion we approve staff recommendations on item number HA1.
I'll second it.
Okay, Commissioner Gruber has made the motion, second by Commissioner Underwood, to approve item number HA1. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Saint, do we have a senior staff report?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we do. Mr. Matthew Brown has a couple of comments for the public regarding, I'm going to let him speak for himself.
You can get him a taller microphone.
Just real quickly, Commissioners, a reminder that this week we have our comprehensive plan meeting for the public. I do want to kind of, we've really done a lot of promotion on these, but I'm sensing a little bit just in working with citizens that there's so much planning and zoning and growth issues in Baldwin County right now that there might be an oversaturation. So I'm not sure what we're going to get in terms of attendance. We're hoping for a great attendance, but we'd like people to come out. It's going to be an opportunity for them to dialogue, to see the results of the survey, and to also continue to give more input on that process. There's going to be interactive items, but those meetings are Wednesday, March 16th. That's tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Foley Civic Center. Wednesday, March 16th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. That's going to be at Baldwin County Central Annex there on Palmer Street in Robertsdale. Thursday, March 17th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in Bay Minette at the City Hall Council Chambers. And then Thursday, March 17th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Baldwin County Fairhope Satellite Courthouse. That one will also be live streamed for folks who participate that way. The second item, you may have seen that there was a special called meeting for the Planning Commission that was published yesterday. This is related to some violations and the potential revoking of a conditional use granted for Little Point Clear in Fairhope. That meeting is actually going to take place in this council chamber this coming Tuesday at 4 p.m.
At the for the public, there's all this information listed on our website?
Absolutely, and it's baldwinrvision.com, has the dates and locations and times for all those meetings, baldwinrvision.com.
All right, thank you, Matthew, for your report. Any other senior staff report, Ron?
No, sir.
Okay. County Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one executive session matter today. Shouldn't take any more than 10 minutes.
Okay. Anybody here in the public want to make a comment? Now's your time. All right, so kind of like an auction, going once, going twice. All right. I do not see the press here today. Anybody on behalf of the press? Commissioner comments?
Start with me, okay.
Yeah.
Again, I want to thank all the staff and everyone for getting this meeting put together, all the hard work that goes into it, getting everything so that we can get it out there and to the public to see what's going on and see what we actually do here. And also, we've got one little shout out I want to make. Today, at the William F. Green Veterans Home, there is a gentleman there that is celebrating his 100th birthday. And the gentleman is very, very interesting. You know, he's a character. He worked at Lowe's up until he couldn't hardly go anymore.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yep. But anyway, it's his 100th birthday today, so it's Bud Weldon Hanson.
Mr. Hanson.
Bud, thank you so very much for your service to this country. And you have been fantastic, and I've heard some of the stories talking to you, because he did live in Nilbert at one time, and we would talk every once in a while. So, Bud, happy birthday. That's all my comments.
Awesome. I can't believe he's not still at Lowe's.
No, it's
wow. Made a lot of keys for me.
And he worked in the hardware department of all things, you know.
Well, thank you guys. Just ditto what he just said. That's great. Also, just want to make a shout out to the staff members who participated and helped organize the Family Fun Day this past Saturday. A little chilly, but we had some chili there. And I think I didn't try the hot chili because some people were nice enough to warn me. They could have played a trick on me. Eddie would have probably let me done that. But I'm looking right now. But thank you guys so much. I look forward to hopefully another year and it being even bigger and better. And I'm sure you guys have something great in store. Just thank you guys for doing all the planning, and I just got to drive up there and enjoy it. So I really appreciate that part of it. You guys did a great job. And it is so nice to be able to recognize employees like we did today. I know they're already gone and we've already said some things, but some of the things that people had come up and said to me about a couple of these employees, it's amazing what they have to go through on a daily basis. And, you know, I try not to say these are jobs people don't want because, you know, my mom's in a nursing home, and the ladies that take care of those ladies in there, a lot of times people say, who would want to do that? And one day this lady come up to me and she had tears in her eyes and she said, you know what? This is why I like coming to work, is because they need me. And so these animals need animal control officers. And when you find out you have one that's compassionate and caring and that kind of thing, and that we need plumbers. I mean, come on. We all like for our toilets to flush. If nothing else don't work in the plumbing, you want that toilet to flush. And also, Miss Jennifer, you know, we don't get too much complaints about what goes on. Sometimes we get calls and have to shift it up to the constituent services level, and a lot of times you get back, thank you so much, that person really helped me. And so it was nice to be able to actually see her in person. I never get to see her, and it was nice to be able to see the employees that were recognized from the county. So with that, I don't think I have anything else. Thank you, guys.
Y'all have heard me say it, and I'll continue to say it as long as I live, that this place is paradise, and it's because of the people. And the people that work for this county and for these citizens, all of you in this room and all the people that you represent, make a huge difference in the life of people every day in Baldwin County. I think we've got to keep in mind what's going on globally with energy, with inflation, and with things that are taking people away from prosperity. And we've got to remember, Skip mentioned the 100-year veteran. We are the home of the free because of the brave. And all the veterans that have gone before that left our shores as young men and maybe didn't come back. But we're benefiting every day from the sacrifice they made. So every chance you get to acknowledge a veteran or a family of a veteran or a grandchild of a veteran, be sure and do that, because it makes a difference. And if you don't believe it, look at the other side of the world now with what's going on. And I'm just tickled to be a small part of what I consider paradise, and I literally do. And none of us would be living here if we didn't want to. So thanks to the staff, thanks to not only the people in this room, but the people that you supervise and work with, because you're the reason we get things done as a team. And I'm honored to have a small part and be a small part of a huge, wonderful team. Thank you.
All that's my sentiments exactly. Thanks for the staff for the awesome job that you do, and thank you, commissioners, for working relationship that we got, because we are running a very well-oiled machine here, the best in the state in my mind, best in the country, I guess you could say. So I, like Joe Davis, feel like it's a very humbling experience to be a small part of a very large process, and we appreciate everybody's hard work and diligence to make our jobs very easy. With that being said, I'll turn it over to our staff attorney to take us into executive session.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would recommend the commission adopt a motion to adjourn this meeting and convene an executive session to discuss with your attorney the legal ramifications of and legal options for pending litigation, controversies not yet being litigated but imminently likely to be litigated, or imminently likely to be litigated if the governmental body pursues a proposed course of action. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Alabama, and this exception is applicable to the planned discussion. And after the vote, you just need to announce that we will not reconvene.
Commissioners.
Mr. Chair, I'll go make a motion that we go into executive session as stated by our attorney for roughly, how many minutes?
10 minutes.
About roughly 10 minutes.
I'll second that motion.
We got a motion by Commissioner Gruber to go into executive session, a second by Commissioner Davis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And this meeting will be adjourned now.